Hi friends and happy Monday. This week I'm spending a couple of days in Arizona and we're exploring Saguaro National Park. Come join me. If you've ever wondered how to explore the best of this park in just one day, today I am taking you on the ultimate adventure, sharing a detailed itinerary to experience both the west and the east, separated sides of Saguaro National Park, where the desert comes alive with towering saguaro cacti from golden sunrises to magnificent desert sunsets. Grab your hiking boots and let's dive into this desert treasure together. Our journey begins on the west side Tucson Mountain District of this park at the Desert Discovery Trail, where the magic of sunrise transforms the landscape here. This short and easy loop is perfect for soaking in the serene beauty of the desert. The fully paved Desert Discovery Nature Trail loop comes in at just under half a mile with barely any elevation change, making it feel more like a gentle stroll than an easy hike. But it makes the perfect stop for families with little ones or those who have limited time in the park but still want a taste of the unique landscape and desert beauty found here. While this is a short trail, there are numerous information panels along the path, so you'll want to give yourself time to stop and learn about the local flora and fauna here. The towering saguaro has long been considered a symbol of the American Southwest. Since 1933, this giant cactus has been protected by first Saguaro National Monument and then by Saguaro National Park when it was officially established in 1994. And the Desert Discovery Trail here gives you some great up-close views. After meandering along this trail and taking in the stunning sunrise views, we're heading off to our next location, just a 3-mile drive down the road. And as you explore this park, always keep your eyes peeled for local wildlife. You never know who might greet you on your journey. Signal Hill is our second stop of the day, where history meets breathtaking desert views. The star of the show in this area is the prehistoric rock art, an incredible collection known as the Signal Hill Petroglyphs. The trail to view the petroglyphs is less than half a mile out and back, with under 50 feet in elevation gain. You start along the dirt path crossing down the dry creek wash before climbing up the stone-carved steps. And while it's not difficult to climb, the stairs can be rough and uneven in areas, so watch your footing as you start to look for the petroglyphs. I am so impressed with this area, and I'm so grateful to the National Park Service for preserving and highlighting it so we as visitors can experience up-close views of the history here. There are many national park locations where native petroglyphs and pictographs are off limits to the public due to their fragile nature. That makes this site even more unique to see, in my opinion. If you're curious about the difference between petroglyphs like these and pictographs like the ones found at Sequoia National Park's Hospital Rock, pictographs are generally found painted atop the surface, whereas petroglyphs, like the ones seen here at Signal Hill, are carved into the rock surface and produced by removing part of the rock's darker surface patina or the desert varnish. My understanding is the petroglyphs here were made by the native Hohokam people sometime in between 450 and 1450 AD. Now, I love that you can learn more about these petroglyphs and the people who made them thanks to the interpretive panels here. Now, some researchers believe that the petroglyphs tell a story or communicate an event or have a spiritual significance, but we don't fully know or understand their meaning. They may not have been intended to be known or understood by the uninitiated or by those who didn't make them. I always encourage remembering the leave no trace principles on my adventures, and it feels extra important to highlight staying on the maintained path here because stepping off could damage the rocks or dislodge them. And I know it should go without saying, but please never mark, move, scratch, or write on rocks. It's absolutely considered vandalism and punishable under state and federal law. Please don't touch the petroglyphs either, because oils from your hands could damage the markings. So enjoy the view, snap a few pictures, but please leave no trace and stay behind the official railings here. After you've explored the petroglyphs here, if you're interested in continued hiking in the area, you can link Signal Hill with the Manville Trail and Cactus Wren Trail for more desert adventures. And don't forget to check out flyingdawnmarie.com, where I'll have details on these hikes and so many more in my Saguaro National Park travel guide. Our third stop of the morning can be accessed by hiking 1.5 miles along Wild Dog Trail. Or I might prefer the easy 3-mile drive. Valley View Overlook Trail is one of my favorite stops in the West District. A short, easy hike brings you to an incredible viewpoint where you see a saguaro cactus forest stretching endlessly across the valley below. The viewpoint bench at the top of this hike is a perfect spot to pause and appreciate the beauty of this desert landscape. The entire Valley View Overlook Trail is just under a mile out and back with only 50 feet in elevation change, and the well-maintained gravel and dirt path is easy enough for even gentle day hikers to enjoy here. I'm pretty blown away by the saguaro that seem to stretch across this landscape endlessly. It's incredible to think that most of the giants here have been standing for over 100 years. Some weigh over 6 tons, and I can absolutely see how this national park got its name. The path up the ridge ends at the final overlook point with a perfectly placed bench where you can sit back and take in the gorgeous panoramic views of the Sonora Desert below. Along with this morning's hikes, on the west side of the park, you can also stop at the Red Hills Visitor Center to view wonderful desert exhibits or chat with a ranger to learn more about the park's history and wildlife. Now, on the west side of the park, Bajada Loop Drive is, in my opinion, the perfect way to enjoy a morning exploring this west side of the park. It stops at both Valley View and Signal Hill, and it gives the best overview to this area of the desert. This scenic 5-mile loop is graded dirt the entire way, but it's still suitable for most low clearance vehicles. Now, it combines sections of Golden Gate Road and Hohokam Road, some of which is one way only. This road offers endless photo opportunities, and as the one-way section of Bajada Loop Drive comes to an end at Golden Gate Road, you can take a left to finish the official loop, but I'd actually take the 1-mile detour to the right and enjoy lunch at a historic picnic area constructed by the Civilian Conservation Corps. The Civilian Conservation Corps was actually responsible for building 8 different picnic areas in this region during the 1930s. They consist of beautifully crafted picnic tables, benches, fire pits, restrooms, and shelters. Personally, I'd round out my time in the morning on the west side of the park at the historic and picturesque Ez-Kim-In-Zin picnic area. Ez-Kim-In-Zin offers great views of Wasson and Amole peaks, as well as wonderful sheltered picnic spots, and this might be one of my favorite CCC structures in this area. After lunch, it's time to hop in the car, driving 30 miles across Tucson from the west side to the east side of the park, which is known as the Rincon Mountain District. Now, for more information on Bajada Loop Drive and all of the west side of the park stops, I'll link my Saguaro virtual visit videos and my full Flying Dawn Marie Saguaro blog posts in the description of this video below. The contrast between the west and the east sides of the park is stunning, and our afternoon adventure can kick off at the Rincon Visitor Center if you want to grab maps, and then I'd spend my entire afternoon driving the scenic Cactus Forest Drive, an 8-mile loop showcasing lush desert landscapes and some must-see stops along the way. This 8-mile one-way loop is fully paved and has numerous hiking trails, picnic areas, and scenic overlooks along the journey. This drive is a perfect option for visitors who want to get a taste of Saguaro National Park's east side in a short amount of time. But each stop along the journey has a unique beauty, and you could absolutely spend all day exploring this area too. Just past the Rincon Mountain Visitor Center, we're heading clockwise as we turn left on Cactus Forest Drive, and we arrive at our first destination almost immediately. The Future Generations Overlook provides stunning views of the Tanque Verde Ridge and desertscape below. You'll also find multiple informative and interesting interpretive panels here. Now, one panel in particular shares about the park's history and important founder for this park, University of Arizona's president, Homer Shantz. Just a short distance down the road, we arrive at the Sonoran Desert Overlook. Here we learn about the dozens of species of cactus we can encounter in this region, from prickly pear, teddy bear cholla, and of course, the giant saguaro. The next viewpoint on our journey shares this drive's namesake, Cactus Forest Overlook. Now, you might think, I don't see much of a cactus forest here, and that's because the view from this spot has drastically changed over the last century. In the 1930s, a sea of giant saguaros blanketed the fields here before us. As we continue our adventure, we're taking the small detour down a gravel road to the Mica View trailhead and picnic area. This road is well maintained and it's perfectly suitable for low clearance vehicles.
From the Mica View picnic area, I definitely recommend heading out on the easy Mica View Trail. In just 2 miles and less than 50 feet in elevation change, you get some great views of giant saguaros here.
Mica View Trail doesn't have the information panels that several nature trails in this national park do, and this isn't the typical experience you might imagine when walking through a forest or even a desert for that matter. As you stroll along this path, you're surrounded by unique looking plants and all kinds of cactus.
After this short detour hike, pop back on the main drive to continue your adventures.
For those looking for a gentle, family-friendly desert stroll, the next stop along Cactus Forest Drive is the Desert Ecology Trail. Coming in at under 1/3 of a mile, this paved path is an easy hike anyone can enjoy in this national park. This wide paved trail is less exposed to small desert wildlife than some of the dirt-packed paths inside the park, but it's still an area to keep your eyes peeled for wildlife. In fact, it's a popular stroll for birders. A few miles down the road, we reach the riparian overlook. Interpretive panels speak to the wonderful wildlife found in this region. However, this is also one of the best spots along the drive to see a vast display of giant saguaro. Many are over a century old. Next up is Rincon Mountain Overlook, which is similar to the riparian overlook. This overlook has great panoramic views of the cactus forest and the mountainous terrain to the east. Javelina Rocks is often a favorite stop along this loop, named after the javelina that enjoy taking shelter under them. The rock formations here are truly unique, and these features also make a great spot to view sunset.
This spot vaguely reminds me of the Cholla Cactus Garden found in Joshua Tree National Park, thanks to the beautiful Cholla cactus that surround the Javelina rocks here. This is a perfect place to close out your day exploring this wonderful park. As the golden hour light fades over the hills, you'll definitely want to stick around because this is a beautiful spot to see the sunset and to watch the evening stars come out.
Thanks so much for joining me this week in Saguaro National Park. And for more information, see my full blog post in the Saguaro section at flyingdawnmarie.com. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe. And until next week, I hope you find adventure and encouragement wherever you go. Bye.